Tonight, we learn what it takes to harness a fighting spirit. Hello and welcome to What It Takes. I'm Tom Landon. Tonight I'm pleased to be joined by Latori Woodberry, who's a boxing coach with a commitment to kids who sometimes fall through the cracks. He's been quoted as saying that boxing saves lives, which may sound counterintuitive, so I'm glad to have him here to explain and to describe his program. Welcome, Coach Tori.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great, and I'm so glad you took the time. I know you've got a lot of kids who depend on you, and you're probably getting ready to get back to them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a lot of kids. Do on average about 100, a little bit over 100 a year. Right now we got 44 and 46, two of them are mine, in our program this year. And we just, we're looking to graduate them out here in about 3 weeks.
Great, great. Well, before we start talking about boxing and your program and your gym and everything else, tell me about you. You know, where'd you grow up and how did you come to get interested in boxing?
Well, I grew up here, in and out, spent some time in North Carolina, Maryland, Salem. But yeah, grew up in Roanoke, Virginia, Hunt Avenue area, 10th Street area. I kind of fell in love with boxing as a young kid. I fell in love with the struggle of seeing get knocked down and get back up.
Sure.
The resilience of it to me was like, you know, a real artwork, and it was something that was captivating to me. And I identified with it, you know, and I just took to it.
So the area where you grew up around 10th Street, has it, I assume that you get back there, has it changed much since you were a child over there?
Not much. I mean, you know, it's pretty much still the same kind of challenges, it's still the same kind of struggles, and the same kind of difficulties that you have, but then you got some really good people and some really great talent that comes out of there, and that's what I represent, and that's what I really want to pull out.
It seems to me that like boxing has come and gone in terms of its popularity over time. When I was a kid, you know, Muhammad Ali and some of the greats, and came up through some of those great fighters, on through Tyson and some of those other great ones, but you don't see it on TV the way you used to see it on the regular networks. Have you felt that, you know, you need to kind of explain what boxing almost is to some of the kids when they come in? It's not just fighting, right?
Oh, no, definitely not just fighting. We're not that far gone from television. I've actually got 2 fighters that's fighting on television in Maryland Live Casino, October 14th. Q-Dog Arrington and Darius the Superstar Samaria from Roanoke City. They both fighting on a televised show. But boxing is, to me, it's my bridge to connect with people. I was able to meet those 2 individuals off the streets. One I met at work, and I was telling them what my experience was in boxing, and they were inspired by it, and they asked me, could I teach them, could I train them, and I took them on, and now they're having a first televised fight in Maryland Casino. But for the kids, I bring this into them as a way to challenge their energy. We have a lot of energies and anxieties that we deal with, you know, so in our communities and in our daily lives. And boxing helps me deal with that. Training and working and exercising, motion release tension. So.
That's true of anything, whether it's a kid who swims every day or hikes or whatever. Our bodies need to move, don't they?
They definitely do. It's a big part of life. I feel like it's one of the main assets of life, is to be able to exercise and to relieve the daily anxieties and stuff that comes around.
And how did you make the leap from boxer yourself into becoming a coach and helping to run a gym?
Well, I got old.
I
got old, man. I've been a professional boxer 3 years, amateur boxer for 10 years. I've probably been in this sport and lifestyle over 15 years. It takes a toll on you, and I'm addicted to it, so I wanted to give back and stay in the game. So I figure this can be a way for me to give back to my community, give back to the children, and stay in the game and continue to do what I love to do.
Sure, and I'm guessing You know, I know just the stories I know about famous boxers, right? A lot of them came from pretty rough situations, kids who were taken off the streets by a coach and really given that discipline. How does a gym figure? I know parents are important. Parents are the most important influence on a kid, but how does a coach and a gym figure almost as a parenting figure for some of these kids?
The key is structure. That's what we introduce in Boxfit. See, there are so many different styles of gyms. In my gym, it's more about character development. It's more about establishing the discipline, the structure, and giving the attention to the detail. In my gym, you got to come there with your t-shirt, because we give you that to you as a uniform to let us know that you're ready to work and we're ready to work with you. So if a kid knows he has to be accountable for his actions, the structure comes and the discipline comes. So I just feel like I offer that, and it's a resource to a lot of single parent families. It's a resource to a lot of families around Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah. Do you find that the kids who've been in the program for a while also help provide that structure? You almost have little junior coaches in there?
Yes, sir. We have our Boxfit mentorship program, which is once the kids graduate out of our program, which we graduate quite a few.
How old are they when they graduate out of the
16. They graduate out at 16. It usually takes about 8 months. But once they're 16 and they have graduated, they get a certificate that says they can also teach. So they come in and help run classes, and they get paid for that.
Great.
Yeah.
I haven't really asked you, where is the gym? Tell me about the facility and you know, where would I find it?
Oh, we've got a new location. We're at Norwich Rec Center, 2021 Roanoke Avenue, Roanoke, Virginia, Southwest. Man, it's a great facility. We're happy, we're beneficial, we're glad. We're so appreciative, and we just can't wait to continue to do more work. I mean, we love what we do. Our initiatives are very impactful.
And I know that facility well. I don't live very far from there, and I think that building was really underutilized for a long time. So is it owned by the city parks or?
Yeah, it's owned by the city. Me and my wife was actually walking we take my daughter to that park. She likes the swings there. So I was like, well, what are they doing with this building? This would be a great gym. I love the trail they got in the back of it. And it's like we kind of like manifested it into reality, because here a month and a year later, we're getting the keys to it. And we've been in there about 6 months now.
How did that happen? And were there people in the city or in other nonprofit organizations who've kind of jumped in for you?
Well, yeah, I've had a lot of people that came and supported me and gave me a lot of great guidance. I'd like to give time. Can I thank them on?
Sure, absolutely.
Definitely Cindy Pasternak, definitely Miss Rachel. So many, it's just so many. Within the city, you got Mary Sherman Lee. He's definitely been there for us. Mr. Cobbs, just all the city council. I've basically told them what my vision was, and we try to figure out how we can make it happen. And we do contracts with the Reset Roanoke police. Roanoke,
part of the gun violence project.
The gun violence. The gun violence reset team. So we do contract work with them, where we take anywhere from 10 to 14 youth that they're mentoring into our program and let them be a part of it too. So,
and we've had some of those folks on the show to talk about that work of Reset and trying to curb gun violence in Roanoke. And you know, everywhere. But
everywhere.
How do you think that a kid becoming a part of a boxing gym, where's that connection between that and helping to reduce violence on the streets?
Man, it's so, they're right there. I don't see where they divide, because like a lot of confrontation's a part of life. But within my gym, you're gonna learn how to deal with confrontation. You're gonna learn how to be self-accountable for your actions, because not only your actions influence yourself and impact yourself, but the person that you do something to. So if I can come in and show you how to use your hands and be confident in your own self-defense, then you don't have to pick up a gun. And if something like that was to happen, like a confrontation was to happen, you have another resource, because you guys can fight it out, and we can all live to fight another day. And that's the way we want to kind of keep it here in Roanoke City and all over the world. really, because our youth are dying from gun violence and gang activity at alarming rates. So I just wanted to definitely do whatever I could do to impact that in a beneficial way.
Well, and I read one of your students, one of your boxers.
Yeah.
There was a quote from him talking about how they were about to get into a confrontation, and they would have normally had a fight, but I think because they knew that they had all these skills, they were confident enough not to even get in the fight. Yes, they knew how to box, but they decided not even to use it because
Definitely.
Man, it's not even worth it, right?
Not even worth it because of consequences. Not only, and our thing is, he was in school, and you talking about, we call him Murder Mill because he's tough. He's a tough kid. He's a very tough, aggressive kid, and normally he's very tough and aggressive. But if he would have fought that day in school, then we probably would have ran laps for that 4-hour training. Because I want my guys to have more discipline than that, to realize it's an appropriate place, time, and thing for everything. So once we can get that established, the structure and the discipline, they know better. So we get misunderstandings, but we work those out in the gym, and we want to hold each of our fighters accountable for their actions in the ring as well as outside the ring.
What are some misconceptions about boxing? What do people like me I don't know a lot about boxing, I'll be honest, but
okay.
What am I probably wrong about when I think about boxing?
I don't know. What do you think about boxing?
Well, I think I have a pretty good attitude about it, actually, but I think there are those who think of boxers as, thug is the wrong word, but, hotheads.
Yeah. Well, it was a sport for, immigrants and, people from a lower financial rung of society. But boxing and boxers are some of the most morally sound people that you're probably gonna find on the face of the earth. It takes a lot to get between the ropes and get in the ring and fight somebody that's been training to fight you. So it's not like a bully situation, it's even terms. And after that fight, if you both have enough courage to actually go into that experience and you come out, you have so much respect and for each other that, man, I don't understand how people get boxing misconstrued. It's art.
Right. When a kid might express their interest in joining the gym, and do you ever have a parent who's a little reticent? I'm not sure I want my baby in there getting beat up, right?
All the time, man. All the time. See,
what do you say if a parent expresses
concern
about their child getting hurt or learning the wrong thing?
Well, I don't think it's impossible for them to learn the wrong thing in my gym because we don't teach wrong things. We exercise and we encourage healthy lifestyle choices and positive activities. So we don't teach any wrong things. But the right thing is to encourage kids to take risks in a safe way. And we have all the equipment, insurance, and everything that provide a safe atmosphere for you to, that's why we say, take the Boxfit experience. And we do offer non-contact classes to where they're instructional and there will be no contact. So they could take that for a while, but eventually I feel like they want to explore and, express what they've learned, test their tools.
And measure themselves against their
it's
friends.
important. It's important in every man, woman, and child, I believe, in society.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I followed a little bit about your gym in the paper and stuff as it's moved to its new location. You were in a different location before, correct?
Yes, sir.
And was there a point where you were worried that you might not be able to continue?
Well, yeah, I was in a location and we had different views, because a lot of gyms, they only have a competition view. I have a character building view. So, we're gonna do a lot of things as a team and character build as a team. And when we went our separate ways, me and that location, I did boxing in the park for, I think, about 2 or 3 months, something like that. And the following, we still reached over 25, 26 kids. And I realized—
Just working out in the park.
Just working out in the park. And I realized the work that I was doing is so much more important because people that had never tried boxing now get to see what this is and become interested in it. And I was like, okay, that encouraged me to keep going. And now that we have the new location, it's just like, the doors are just flying off the hinges. We're packed. We're at capacity right now for anybody who wonders. But yeah, we can't take any more kids. But once we graduate these guys out, we'll have some space opening. But man, I love what we're doing.
That's fantastic that you're at capacity. There aren't that many youth sports programs that can say that, I think.
Well, yeah, I'm glad that we can. We've been the #1 most youth outreach impacting program in the state for probably 2 years.
And I know you sent me some video and some pictures of a recent competition that you had. Looked like there was a ring set up outside.
That was Gloves Up, Guns Down.
What was that called again?
Gloves Up, Guns Down.
Okay.
So me and a coalition of coaches, George Rivera up in Charlottesville, he has Wartime Fitness. He has a character building curriculum in his training regimen, as I do. And we host these initiatives to combat gun violence and gang activity. And I'll hold one here in a couple months and y'all guys can check it out. And he held his and we travel up there and it was 500-600 people there, over 8 teams come from all over Virginia. I think it's just a big thing. We should keep going. I think it's a great thing we're doing.
And what's the cost for participation in your program for kids? And is it a sliding scale or how do you do that?
Well, I don't charge any kid for Boxfit. Youth Boxfit is completely free to Roanoke City kids and kids in general because a lot of kids that I deal with are not financially, they're coming from families that are not financially suitable for a gym fee or a personal training fee, and kids can't go into a contract with any club or anything like that to be held liable for pay. So I'm just made it free and I operate off of donations and if I could get a grant, you know, and contract work. I have some pro fighters, we're gonna go make some money. So, and I just keep doing it, man. God keeps making a way. And I just, the people of Roanoke been really supportive of me. And I mean, we always need help, but we're always grateful for where we are and appreciative for what we have. And we just make it work.
So if someone was interested in supporting you, how would they find you in order to?
I got a card. Can I put my card?
Oh, that's all right. Well, we can put the information up on the screen too.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have a card, but you can donate to Boxfit. It's a nonprofit 501c3 organization. We're right here in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm not the ideal.
Well, and people, you know, this program will eventually find its way to our YouTube channel, and people can comment there, and we can share some information there too. You talked about your kids who graduate from the program. Do you have a lot of former boxers who come back and help with your kids?
Yeah. Well, we have not a lot of former boxers. We have 4 former students right now, and they're helping being mentors and running some of the what we call kids Boxfit classes, and we have youth Boxfit classes. And I probably need to explain that we separate 13 and under and 13 and over. So that's why we have youth, and then we have kids boxing classes and the young adult boxing classes.
Sure. And I've seen some pictures and video of your kids, even just running out in the park and things. I imagine that being located in Norwich in a park.
Best location.
You're right there by the Greenway if you want them to run, but also you're in a great place to work. Not everything has to happen in a gym, does it?
No, sir. Just like I said on our Boxing in the Park initiative, right there at Washington Park and all the parks in Virginia, well, not in Virginia, but in Roanoke City, we have a lot of beautiful parks in Roanoke City, and we explore and we hike too. We like to go out and be involved in the community because I wanted to show them that it's a lot to enjoy in life, you know, and fitness is an enjoyment for me. So, yeah, I mean, we do a lot of things.
What lessons does boxing teach that might be hard to come by otherwise?
That's an easy question. You set me up for the knockout punch.
Sure.
Resilience, man. Resilience is going to be the main thing in boxing. It's hard. It's one of the hardest sports in the world. That's why you don't see that many other people do it. It's one man going to the ring. You have to prepare yourself the best you can and hope for the best results that you can. And if those results are not ideal, you got to come back, go to the drawing board and try harder and come back again. So I feel like resilience is like the best lesson Discipline, aside from discipline, that boxing teaches.
Well, they're definitely connected. When a child comes to you, it's a 10-year-old kid or whatever, what is this is a generalization, what is the fitness level of kids who walk in the door for the first time, and are these kids surprised to see that maybe their fitness level is,
yes,
they're not really destined for the NFL?
Definitely. Everybody has a rude awakening because our routines are very rigorous. They're very hard routines. Most kids leave our practice and fall asleep in the car. Parents always compliment me, thank you, because he's asleep after showering, eating, it's over with. He's to bed, and they're not having that energy to be combative or, argumentative because they're just drained out of the gym. But all the kids, they come in and realize, well, man, I can't do 50 sit-ups, and we do 50. And I can't do 25 pull-ups and this and that, and we do a lot. So you build yourself up. And some kids, it's intimidating too. Some kids, they just hit the door and don't come back. But we're here, and we're going to keep on keeping the standard high.
There's been such an explosion in things like mixed martial arts and other kind of fighting disciplines, especially on, again, televised sports, and there's a ton of that. And girls, do you use? Yes. Are there girls in your program?
Yeah, we've got girls. Finally, we've got some girls that want to try it. I guess it took a little while after a year or so. Our first year we only had 4 or 5 girls. Now we've got 10. So I'm glad that it's working out.
Yeah. So when kids come in and they have seen these cage matches and all of this stuff, people kicking each other, and that's not really boxing, right? So how much education do you have to do with the kids to say, here's what boxing is?
Well, we do a lot of education through fitness games. Because kids, they don't want to listen to a lecture. And we're in a boxing gym. We don't have any books in there besides old fighter magazines. So they just kind of get intrigued with the sport, and we learn every day. I learn every day. I'm learning from them as I'm teaching how to be a better teacher and learning more about boxing, how to teach it better. But they come in with the misconception that, hey, I got to fight to be the champion of the world, and I encourage that, but I want you to fight to improve yourself. And we're all going to improve ourselves on different levels at different times.
Well, that's the other thing, is realistic expectations. So I taught middle school and high school for quite a while. Yes. And I would have kids come in and say, I don't need to learn this. I'm going to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Or, I'm going to be the world champion boxer. In your case, you don't want to tell them they're wrong, but how do you, the number of people who make it to that level is so small.
Yes, sir.
How do you talk to a kid who's maybe got unrealistic expectations for themselves?
Well, I don't give them any negative. I'm here to encourage and not discourage.
Sure.
So I just tell them, well, I got 363 now favorite fighters, me personally. And there are millions and thousands of fighters that were before that, and there are in the world that I'm not even aware of. So just try to find your own lane, I would ask them. And because, that's the only real expectation, is to find yourself and to do the best that you can do. And you'll always find success there. So I encourage the fact that you want to be a champion of the world and that you feel like you're the baddest man on the planet. And I'm going to tell you that you're right, and we're going to learn together.
Okay. We've got a couple minutes left. Is there anything you wish, if you could snap your fingers and what do you wish your gym had or had access to that you don't right now?
Well, right now we're going into our after-school program season, and we want to get a Wi-Fi sponsor because we have so many kids that come and they hang out, take pictures at the gym, some equipment, just basic things. Man, I love boxing, so I would invest millions and millions of dollars in boxing. But, just basic things to make this place a little bit more enjoyable for the kids, and man, I don't know what to ask for. I have so much. I'm just blessed for what I have, and I appreciate what I have.
But you're at capacity.
Yeah, I'm at capacity.
I guess my last question for you is where do you see this going within a few years, 5 years from now, maybe?
Well, I've been doing Boxfit classes and expos at the YMCA here in Allegheny County, here in Roanoke City, out spreading out because, I want to be able to give kids the chance to experience the Boxfit experience and to impact as many kids as I can. It's an ego thing to me now that I've got over 100 every year. So I just want to keep on doing at least what I've been doing.
Great.
And YMCAs and TAP been very helpful with that and making sure that the costs are zero or at a discount to those kids.
Sure. All right. Well, believe it or not, we've run out of time. So as we close this program, just like to encourage everyone to follow Boxing and Brawling on Boxfit on social media
Yes,
and
sir.
see how you can help support this program. For What It Takes, I'm Tom Landon. And now
That was good. You all did a great job. Thank you.